So we're almost there. It says it's at 210, so the worry at this point is that we're gonna get that hot break. So you can see it's getting pretty foamy in there. I'm gonna put that magic wand across, which should help in case we do get a runaway foam. And in the meanwhile, we gotta wait. And now, here we are. We got our nice rolling boil. So not only do we have a thermometer that says it's boiling, it actually looks like it's boiling. So we're given that we're at a boil, now we can get on to all of the hopping and whatnot. The nice thing is once that foamy stuff dies down, you pretty much don't get much more foamy stuff, although we'll probably get a little bit when we put the hops in there. But in the meanwhile, we've got that taken care of. Pull these from the fridge. This is our yeast. Yeast needs to be in the fridge or it slowly ages and dies. And even then, these things have a due date. So this is April 4th, 2020. We beat that by a month. So we'll see whether we get around to pitching this now, because in this particular beer's case, you want to pitch at about 50 Fahrenheit. So that'll take a little while to get that down to there, but we might as well get our yeast nice and warm. Well, room temperature. You don't want to heat them, so we're going to let them hang out here in the room with us. Then we got our hops. So this is the Finest Inn German Hallertau. The beer that we're making is Munich Helles. This is a nice light hop. It's 3.8% AA. So we're gonna hop in 2 batches. Actually, let me switch this to ounces. I won't switch it to ounces. Grams are fine. So we're gonna do 2 additions of hops. The first one is gonna be a full ounce at the start. Whenever we start our hour of counting. The other one will be half an ounce at about 15 minutes left. Okay, there we go. Gorgeous. So that's our hops. And I left my phone somewhere else, so I'll just have to count off in my head to make sure I get my 60 minutes right. But bottoms up. And then we go set timers. Have timers. Timers are good. And then now we wait. So here we are. We're about 45 minutes in, plus or minus a few seconds. At 45 minutes in, my second addition of hops goes in. And that'll be in there for 15 minutes before knockout. This is now properly sanitized, and it's about to go into the drink. Although, I need to move this. I'm just gonna kill the power. I'm gonna get a thermometer in there, so the thermometer gets its sanitization from beer. The cooling coil in there. Now I have a fancy new fitting, so I can. So there's a little fitting that connects my hose to my crappy faucet. And then need some way to weigh this thing down so I don't scald myself, because the water coming out is going to be really hot. So I'll pretty much not be touching that hose while water comes out through it, and then let it rip. Well, I guess that tells us how much pressure it can handle, which is not all that much. But if your camera is good enough, you can see the steam coming out from the...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can. Oh, that's nice.
From the hot end, which I'm gonna... So that'll take about 20 minutes. I occasionally give it a very polite bit of agitation, but 20-30 minutes from now it should be room temperature, and then we do the next thing. Temperature here is at 80. Let's see if we can magic that as an 80. And that's about as cool as it needs to get. We're gonna need to get it cooler in the end anyway, but we might as well move along and get this thing moved into a bucket. In the meanwhile, let's unplug things so we don't short circuit crap. And by crap, I mean things. Oh, I think I unplugged the wrong thing. And sent everything flying. This is the danger of having your brewery in your kitchen. And then this thing can come out. You'll notice that there's muck on it, and it actually drains a lot of water. Muck. Now this whole thing is full of water, so I usually try to get that drained out first thing before I do anything else, but this is always at least a little bit challenging. Trying not to leave marks on the ceiling either. And then I usually, we'll clean that later.